Hi guys, and welcome back to another video in our Java tutorial series. So this video is a direct continuation of our previous one about for loops. So go ahead and check that one out. We're going to be working on the Java break and continue keyword this time. So break and continue are two important keywords. I'd say that we use break more, but they come hand in hand like a pair. So I'm sure continue would feel left out if we didn't use it. Right? Okay, so we're going to jump right in. So where we left off last time, we had our for and we had our for with the J. So I'm going to uncomment these, and if we just run them both at once, you'll see we'll get the numbers 0 through 6 and 0 through 10 even. Or no. Well, 0 through 10 odd in this case. I like even numbers. Let's run the even numbers. Okay, so run it again and we'll get those numbers. Now, break and continue are two keywords, like I said before, used very often. Break, obviously, like the name, is going to stop something, and continue is going to let it keep on going. Wow, how obvious, right? Okay, so break, we'll see in the first example, is going to have something stop. Now, you could say that you could use break by itself, but we don't want to just kind of break something immediately after. So what I mean by that is, let me go over here to the REPL. We see our numbers. I will print out a blank line here just so we can get some separation. There we go. I want you guys to see the difference between the two rows of numbers that we get. So since we know that break is meant to stop something, if I put break right after this, so break semicolon, what is going to happen? Run your code and we're going to see that instead of getting 0 through 6, we're going to get, drum roll, 0. And then it's just done. I mean, okay, that was fine. It successfully breaks, so it stopped our loop like it was supposed to do. It exited the loop. But this is kind of boring, right? We don't want it to just stop after 0. What if I wanted to stop after 4? What if I wanted to stop after 10? What if I wanted it to stop after 1,000,000, right? So this is where we can use an if statement. Right, remember those? We talked about if statements a few videos ago, so we're going to use that. So let me go ahead and delete this and say if, and remember we have a condition here, and we're going to do something. So inside of these curly braces, remember, is what's going to happen if the condition is true. So if the condition is true, then let's exit out of the statement there. Now, what should our condition be? If I is equal to, what should I be equal to? Let's set it equal to 6, 5, 5 for now. So let's say if I is equal to 5, then we break. Then run our code and let's see what we get. Okay, so it's running and we are about to get 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it ends. So we don't have 6, which is good. That means our break statement worked, which means that whenever it saw that I was equal to 5, it stopped our loop immediately. Now, one thing that I want to show you is if I move my if statement over here, and then I ran my code, what is going to happen? We're going to see 0, 1, 2, 3, come on, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so why did the 5 disappear? Remember, when I put my if statement underneath this print line, we still had our 5. Now let's walk through this. So for I equals 0, blah, 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 we run all the way to 3. So 3 gets printed out, we come back out, we add 1, and we make it 4. 4 is not equal to 5, so this if statement gets ignored, and 4 gets printed out. Then 4 comes back in, gets changed to 5. 5 is equal to 5, so we break. We braked here, which means that we didn't even get a chance to print 5 out. So 5 didn't even get printed out. But if we moved it down to the bottom, when 4 came in, it would be changed to 5, and 5 would get printed out And since 5 is equal to 5, we would break. So the position of the break is important too, because depending on whether you put it, we know that either the number can be printed out or it cannot, right? So that's just something to be careful about. I think breaks make sense for us, right? Break means to essentially break, right? Exit out of our loop. All right, I think we're doing good. We're halfway done. Okay, so the next part I want to work with is continue. So continue, in my opinion, is kind of like break's little sister. It's not as mean as break. It doesn't essentially cut things off totally, but it is going to cut one or two things off, like one thing. It's going to be playing with its friends. Now, somebody made her mad, and break would just stop playing with everybody. But continue, somebody made her mad, she would stop playing with that person, and she would keep playing with the other people. Bad analogy, but hopefully we kind of have a little bit of an idea. Okay, so looking back to our picture, it's almost the exact same structure as our if statement for our break keyword. So knowing that, let's come on and try it. So if condition, let's put it at the top first. We're going to put continue this time. Okay, so since we know we're working with all even numbers here, let's not go through the process of using an odd one, and let's just say if j is equal to, let's use 6. Okay, 6 is kind of like a number right in the middle-ish. Actually, no, 4 is the middle number, isn't it? 4. Okay, so now let's run our code and let's see what happens, okay? Just see what happens. So we can ignore our i's getting printed out. Now let's just look underneath this equal sign. We get 0, 2, 6, 8. Where did our 4 go? It's gone, right? So hopefully my analogy of the little sister playing with her friends makes a little bit of sense now. Continue, essentially what it does is it's going to skip the specific case and moves on to the next one. Okay, so it's going to stop printing out whatever one that it told it to, and it's going to move on. So it's going to break for the case of 4, but then it's going to continue moving for our other cases. So hopefully that made some sense. Continue stops the given case and skips it. But it still keeps going. Okay, so j is equal to 4, continue. So it saw that j was equal to 4, and then it skipped 4, it did not print out 4, it did not execute any of this. So since it saw continue here, it would just directly skip over the rest of the loop and come back in and add 2 to itself. So once it saw the word continue, it just completely disregarded the rest of the loop, okay? So once you meet the continue work, the rest of the loop is completely disregarded and it starts a new cycle. Okay, so now we know that what continue does. One thing that I want to show you is that what happens when we move it down here. So based on our knowledge, we know that for break, things do change. But let's see what happens if we use the continue. We get 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now this is not what we're going for at all, right? Because that nothing got skipped. So for j is equal to 0, blah, 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 we come to 2. Let's just say we're at 2. So 2 comes in and it adds 2 to itself to be 4. But then 4 gets printed out first. So before anything can happen, it's already gotten printed out. Then we see the continue loop, but it's already too late because there's nothing else left in the loop. Okay, so that was our case for our for loop and the break and continue keywords. We have another video. We're going to put a pause button on our for loops. We will use them again. So you'll see them 2 videos later. We're going to work on arrays next, and then for our last video of the week, we'll learn about arrays and for loops combined. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.